everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Madison Paige and let's just jump into the video. So for the final video of Boys Choice Week, I am doing a mashup of two requests. The first request was from Frankie Hill, as usual. His thing will be in the description below. And the second request was from Ollie. Again, if you don't know, Ollie is my 3-year-old little brother. He's been featured in all of the I Let My 3-year-old videos. Now Frankie suggested that I do a random thoughts video or a video that's like talking about things that I didn't find funny as a kid but now I do. And Ollie wanted to see a Nerf gun video like the ones that he watches. Now because Mum doesn't like us shooting each other with the Nerf bullets, we have these laser tag guns that we're going to be using instead, so we will be shooting each other with those. Now in this video you're going to see me wear this. This is one of the official pieces of merch. It's not the one I made, well, technically I made my merch. Well, I designed my merch. But this is not the painted one. This is actually the merch. I am going to be doing a proper video on it hopefully next week. I'm still waiting on my other merch item to come. But yeah, this is the first one. It's really good quality and I'm in love with it. So there. But yeah, how this video is going to go is I'm going to tell you guys like a little story about like a random thought I had or something that used to be a big deal but now it's just funny. And then I'm going to go have a short shooting break with Ollie and then come back and tell you something else. Then go shoot him again. Then come back and tell you something else. And whatever. So let's just get into the video. Okay, so the first sort of random thought story thing that I had to share was something that I'm laughing about now because after God knows how many years it's been, I can't do quick maths, so I'd have to count it out on my fingers and that's just embarrassing. So after however many years it's been, I have finally realized what has happened to me. But basically, when I was in year 4 or something, so I was around, I don't know, 9 years old, something like that. When I was in year 4, I had this event happen to me where basically I blacked out. I didn't remember anything after blacking out. Before I blacked out, I was like on my way to the bathroom. The bell had just gone. I was on my way to the bathroom because I have no common decency and decided to go to the bathroom as the bell went every single time. So I was on my way to the bathroom and as I was walking there were these two guys coming towards me on either side. And I don't remember who they are, but it was just these two guys coming towards me on either side. Next thing I know, I'm being dragged to the sick bay with like blood dripping down my face. And because apparently I had trust issues when it came to men even at 9 years old, I just naturally assumed that I had been knocked out by these guys. So yeah, I think I vaguely remember saying something like that. Well, I didn't say that they knocked me out because I didn't remember anything. I just said that I was walking towards the bathroom, there was these two guys coming towards me, and then after that it all went black. They went around questioning like witnesses, just kids who happened to be around at the same time. And none of them really had an answer. They just sort of, they didn't really know what happened, but like the next thing they knew, I was on the ground covered in blood crying for my mum apparently. I do that after, I've heard from like various people that after every, I don't know, troubling event I call for my mum. Like after my back surgery, I was signing mum by doing that because I couldn't talk yet. I was still slightly under anesthesia. I don't remember doing that, but nurses asked my mum if I spoke sign language and she was just like, yeah. And they're like, because she was like signing this and that, and she was like, oh, that's me, she was calling for me. Anyway, off topic. But yeah, all they really saw was me on the ground covered in blood calling for my mum. And that's what they told them. They didn't remember seeing any guys. They didn't really know what had happened. I never remembered who those guys were. I do have a very vivid image of them walking towards me, so I knew that happened, but I didn't remember them like attacking me or knocking me out or anything. Really. But it has come to my realization, that's not correct English, but that's what we're going with, that I have issues with heat. And I vaguely remember it being a really hot day that day. I mean, It's usually a hot day. I live in the land of constant summer. It was a really hot day, and I've mentioned before, I was really skinny as a kid, and people often thought I had eating disorders. I didn't, again, just reiterating that, I was just skinny. So I often kept on my bulky jerseys and stuff, so people didn't really see my thin body. So yeah, I know that I probably had my big ass bulky jersey on that day, and it was really hot. So I think what happened is I just fainted. There was no big conspiracy, no one attacked me. Thank God I never actually accused anyone. Like, I mean, I kind of did, but like, I never actively said they attacked me or they knocked me out. I just said that at the time that everything went black, they were walking towards me, and I didn't know who they were anyway, so I couldn't accuse them. But thank God I never actively accused them, because then I would feel like the shittest person in the world. But now that I'm grown and have some sort of a brain in there, I have realised that I probably just fainted because I don't deal well with heat. Why do I live here? The first level of my heat intolerance is getting like a really profusely bloody nose. And the second level is I get super nauseous. This happened to me in like a club last year. It was really packed and I got really fucking nauseous because it was so hot in there. And I went outside to get some air, and this dude would not leave me alone. But yeah, apparently the third level of my heat intolerance is me passing the fuck out. Which, I mean, it's kind of normal. A lot of people pass out when they overheat. But for some reason that just didn't come into my head as a kid. But now as a grown-ass woman, I realise, and I'm looking at my younger self like, what are you doing? Like, idiot. But anyway, that was my first weird story of this video. I'm gonna go shoot my brother.
Get her, Baba, get her. You got Mimi, run away. Oh no, Mimi got you. Run away, run away.
Okay, so the second weird story thingy that I have to tell you guys. It's kind of not a weird story, but it's something that, like, because I have a dark sense of humour, I kind of laugh at now. But anyway, when I was a kid, I was usually the oldest in my friend group. My start in life meant I started school later and all of my friends were an entire year younger than me. Anyways, yeah, I was usually the oldest in my friend group, so I was kind of like the mum of my friend group. And for most of my childhood, my friends would always come and ask me for advice for whatever issues they were dealing with in their life at that time. And I was actually kind of decent at giving advice, like to the level where I was like, I should be a therapist one day. But what cracks me up, as I've realised while looking back on my life, is that the more unhinged I became, the less people started coming to me for advice. Which makes sense, because you don't want to ask for advice from a crazy person. As a kid, I was constantly giving my friends advice, solicited advice. They'd come to me, they'd ask. And it could be about anything, like about a crush, about not liking their dad's new girlfriend, about anything. The advice I gave was usually pretty decent. I don't know when it started to just drop off, but like, the more I got, the less they were keen to ask for advice. There were times, on occasion, where I would still give them advice, whether they wanted it or not. The more derailed my train of thought became, the less passengers got on. That's kind of a lame one, but it's something that I laugh at now, because I'm a nutter and proud. Let's go shoot the baby again.
You got it! Yeah!
Jesus. Alright, now the third thing that I have to talk about is more of the random thoughts section. But basically, I've talked about my daydreaming before. I've recently made a Tumblr for my dreams and all my inner world characters, which I will link below if you guys are interested in that sort of thing. But there are times where I've wondered if my paras, which is what my main imaginary friends are called, there are times where I've wondered if my paras have been me, they've taken possession of me for something. Like, one example that I can specifically think of is last year I had this, I don't think it's quite right to call them a friend, but kind of friend person thing, who I was not the hugest fan of. I don't know, certain personality types just irritate me, and yeah. And while I can be a bitch, I don't think I'm a horrible person. Ellie, however, one of my paras, is kind of a horrible person. Every time I was with this person, who they irritated me, but I don't think I ever thought they were a bad person. They were annoying, but I never felt the need to be an asshole. But for some reason, every time I was with them, at some point during the interaction or the conversation, it's like something would flick over and I'd be the worst person in the world. Never physical, but just really fucking rude and horrible. And I don't want to use this as an excuse, because it might have been me. I might just be Satan himself and not realize. But the things that I would do and say, I don't feel like I'm me, but I feel like they're very much Ellie. So there are times where I've wondered, are you me? Are we? What is happening? I did some research on this, and it turns out there is a thing called tulpas, which I vaguely remember there being a Grey's Anatomy episode with someone who had a tulpa. And part of me wonders if that's a thing, but also everything I've researched about them is quite negative. I don't have a specific opinion on them, so if you have a tulpa, I'm not hating on you or throwing shade or anything. The opinions and stuff that I have seen online are quite negative. But yeah, there are just times where I'm you were really unnecessarily mean right then, and I'm not usually like that. So I often wonder if it is one of my paras just coming through and being I'm gonna fuck shit up because I can. I just don't know. Alright, one more round of shooting with the baby. Let's go.
Okay. You got it! You guys keep using the same 2 rooms.
Okay, so that was the video. It was a little strange, but I mean, fuck it. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below a weird and random thought that you have, or something that was the end of the world as a kid but now you laugh at. Subscribe if you haven't already. Tap the bell notification thingy to be notified every time I post, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Buy my merch. Or not. Bye!